Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is September 13th, 2024, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching gold roar to new all-time record highs. But first, looking at today, no major economic events scheduled. So shifting over to the markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs get a bounce versus US dollar. And looking at those indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ extend the rally to the upside. And as we look at commodities, gold, as we mentioned, makes new all-time record highs, and natural gas breaks out higher. Now looking at the stocks, the bank stocks are still weak despite the markets going higher, but the tech stocks are pushing higher. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now we did get a bounce to 110.70-ish level, which is significant. It's about 40 pips. It's almost 50% from our high to where we retraced to, and that's where we want to be. What I believe is we're going to consolidate in this area before the number of FOMC next week on the 18th. Now jumping into the GBP USD, also trade the same thing. And if we look at the Japanese yen, it continues to get stronger versus the USD, so we may see a nice pivot to the up move for the Euro and the GBP as well. Now lastly, looking at the Turkish Lira, also gapped up this morning, and you can see a nice big gap up, okay, with potential to reach back to that 34 level. Now jumping into commodities, this is where it's at. Look at gold going orbital yesterday to from 25.20-ish level, okay? We were at 25.16-ish level even. And then, going orbital, we broke our resistance-ish area at 25.30, and we're at all-time record highs here. Now, how much further could we go? That's a great question. I don't know. That's the thing with gold. Once it makes new all-time record highs, potentially we could go to 3,000, okay? Now, I wouldn't chase it at this level. I would wait for a pullback if we get one, okay? But that is where we're at. And if, hindsight is 2020, does look like it's making a right wedge formation on a longer term basis. So that is actually fruited and actually broke out higher. Now looking at crude oil, we bounced again to $69, all right? Not a big deal. We pushed another $2 on the upside. But this is interesting. Natural gas, much more bang for your buck. I always say it. Now it broke from 226 up to 235. Now I know 10 cents doesn't seem like such a big thing, but when you're trading something that's $2.25, it's a big deal, okay? Because it's percentage wise. Now shifting over to the US markets, very interesting. If you look at the Dow Jones, it did push out higher, okay? A little bit. If we look at the NASDAQ, though, it pushed out even higher, 19,436, which is an even bigger push. And if we look at the individual stocks, all right, it's AMD that had a nice comeback. It's NVIDIA that had a huge comeback, okay, from our major sell-off there. It's Amazon making a huge comeback, okay, after this gap down and big recovery here. And not to mention Microsoft also making a recovery. Not as strong, but making a recovery. So we're going before a number and we're recovering before a number. Maybe this is a pump to maybe dump it later. I'm not sure, but I've got to trade with the trend and not fight it. Okay, at least for now. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. It's unchanged at 57,000 right here. It did level off here, and I don't expect too much out of it, but we may see it go back and continue to consolidate. It's almost at 50% of its higher range of 64,000 and 52,000 on the bottom side. So with that said, we may retrace here. Okay, just keep an eye on it because potentially it could give us a good lead, but it's very choppy market. Still very, very choppy market. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.